All right, guys, welcome back to Teal House Farm. It is another cooking from the canning pantry, and I have Ivy here to help me today. And if you hear Mr. P in the background, he's upset that I put him in the pack and play. He's okay. He's causing chaos, and we need to do some cooking real fast. So today we are going to make, we're going to show you how you use those canned roasts. I get a lot of questions about if I can a roast, what do I do with it? And I'm going to show you an option. And we're going to use some canned vegetables. We'll show you all that in a minute. The main dish is going to be all made in one pan, which is great. I love making them this way because I'm going to make it ahead of time here. Dinner's still not for several more hours, but I'm going to put it all together now, and then I'm going to slide it in the fridge, and then I can slide it in the oven right before it's time to eat, and it's going to help me. I have a lot of things I want to get done outside, so dinner will be already prepped, and then it's just push it in the oven for probably about 30-45 minutes while I finish working outside and get everything done, and all the prep work and cleanup after prep work is done already for dinner at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But first here, we are going to make a dessert to go with dinner tonight because we've been working really hard, haven't we, Ivy? We got baby goats and we had to clean out the stall, and I'm pretty sure that I've burned enough calories in the last 2 days that I can eat whatever I want. So we're going to make a dump cake in our crock pot so that, again, everything is done at dinner time. We don't have to do any prep or cleanup first. So first we'll show you how we make a dump cake in the crock pot and get it started, and then we'll prep the actual dinner, and then we'll go get some work done, and we'll come back to a hot meal that's already been all prepped and done, and it was simple because we're using what we have in our canning pantry. Okay, first thing you're going to need is a crock pot, and then you're going to need 2 cans of pie filling. We're doing cherry pie filling today. You could use a different kind if you want to. A box of yellow cake mix, and a stick of butter. First thing you're going to do is open those cans, and if you have little hands and little arms like Ivy, it might be a little too hard. So a little help from Mom, and we get those cans open. She's going to dump in the cherry filling, and you want to make sure you scrape that jar clean. You want all the sugary, sticky goodness in your crock pot. After she scrapes them both out, we're going to go ahead and spread the cherry filling across the bottom of the crock pot. I did not butter the crock pot or anything like that. You do not need to do that, just straight in. And then we're going to sprinkle on top the yellow cake mix, try to get it evenly dispersed over the top of the cherry filling. And then we're going to use our stick of butter and cut it into small squares. And we're going to take those small squares and we're going to spread them evenly over the top. And now you do not want to mix anything. Don't be tempted to mix it. Just leave it in layers like this. It will cook together and it is delicious. So put your butter on top, put your cover on, set it on low for 4 hours or high for 2 hours. Okay, now for the dinner part. So first you need a large pan, like a 9x13. I have this bottom half of like a broiler pan that came with the oven, and yeah, I'm gonna use this, but a 9x13 will work great. Or if you're cooking a big batch for a lot of people, you could use like an extra large cookie sheet. All right, from the canning pantry, we're going to need 2 cans of corn. I don't have any home canned corn left. It is April, and so a lot of our home canned vegetables from our garden have already been eaten up, which we will be replenishing soon. So we got some store-bought ones. So if you're doing a home canned corn, you want to probably use about a quart. But we got 2 store cans here. I have a quart of home canned baby carrots. I might end up doing 2. We'll see what the pan looks like when I'm done. And then we need a quart of roast. Now, if you were making this for a lot of adults, you'll use 2 quarts of roast. My kids are still not huge meat eaters. They'll just get a little bit. So even though I'm feeding 8 people, 1 quart really is going to do fine on the roast. They will eat more of the vegetables than the meat. But today I'm actually not going to open a quart because I have leftover roast in the fridge. Now the theory is exactly the same. So when you can your roast, it is just pre-cooked meat, and so this is leftover roast. This is lamb roast, actually. You can do the same thing with a pork roast or a beef roast. What we're going to do, it works great with any of that meat. If you're using a quart of your roast, you'll just go ahead and pop that quart open and drain it, and then do exactly what we're going to do with this pre-cooked roast that I have as leftovers in the fridge. So imagine that this came out of my canning pantry, but I'm not going to open a quart of meat just to show you opening a jar when I have the pre-cooked meat already in the fridge that needs to be used because it's got a quicker expiration date on it than what's in the canning pantry. So use your imaginations a little bit. All right, we're going to get this all laid out on the tray. It's really simple. First thing we're going to need is our big pan. Again, you can use a 9x13. I'm just using this weird shaped one. We have our leftover lamb roast, and you could use lamb or beef or pork, any kind of roast that's pre-cooked. If you used your quart jars, you would have drained them and then put the chunks in a row on the pan. I'm just ripping apart the roast and putting them in a row on the pan. Then we're going to open up our cans of corn. We're going to drain those, and we're going to make a row of corn in the middle of the pan. And then for the final edge of the pan here, we're going to use our quart of baby carrots. And I did decide that maybe a second quart would do well because my kids love carrots so much. I know they're going to eat tons of these, so we did a second quart. That's what it looks like if you're a visual learner. So our meat and our vegetables are in rows, all in the same pan. We're going to add barbecue sauce on top of our meat. You could use any sauce that you like. We're going to sprinkle about a half teaspoon of salt and about 2 tablespoons of butter on top of the corn. And then we are also going to put about 2 tablespoons worth, probably not quite that much, pretty close to 2 tablespoons though, of honey. Just drizzle it on top of those carrots. This is what it looks like, just in case you're a visual learner again. Nice and neat. Now we do need to cover this for cooking, and so I'm going to use a cookie sheet because why waste tin foil when a cookie sheet fits on top? And we're going to put that in the fridge now. After about 2 hours of working outside, I came in, put the oven on 350 Fahrenheit, got the pan out of the fridge and slid it right into the oven. It's going to cook for about 45 minutes while I finish up outside. And then I came in and took out the nice hot steamy meal, and we start plating it up. So everybody gets some carrots, everyone gets some corn, and everyone gets some lamb. All right, pretty simple for the dinner. It all came out great. Everybody's eating.
Except for Daddy's corn.
Micah's favorite corn. We're gonna eat dinner and then.
Daddy's not on the page.
Well, Daddy is studying for a test, so he's eating at his desk. We're gonna finish dinner and then we'll show you the delicious dessert. It smells so good. We have done this with blueberry and strawberry pie filling, but cherry has to be my favorite. I just love that it's a little bit tart. A little ice cream on top for the kids, and it looks and smells so good. They all had to take baths after dinner, so everyone's all clean. They get to come in and have dessert, and then it's going to be time to put the littlest 3 to bed. So we get them finished up with their dessert and teeth brushed. And there is a little bit of protest. They always get a little upset that they have to go to bed first and the older guys get to stay up later, but that's just how life is when you're little. And once they're all tucked into bed, I make some coffee for Sam and I. And we're going to enjoy our dessert with some ice cream on top and a little bit of time together. The big girls are pretty good about keeping themselves busy for this last hour where they get to stay up. We call it big girl time, and they just get to kind of do anything that they want to, watch TV or do just some big girl activities, and Sam and I get some time to relax together.